and welcome to our international discussion. As you know, on April 22nd, 2023, a historical event happened. International Online Forum Global Crisis, There is a Way Out. Information presented is groundbreaking, it's life-changing, and it's life-saving. And it sparked people's hearts around the world. And today with us, we have amazing people who understand the concept of creative society, who are already taking action and informing people around the world using modern technologies, social media that connects us all. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can contribute to building a better world. So today it is my honor to introduce Sylvia from Belgium and
Hello,
Ioana.
everyone.
Hello, nice to see you. And Ioana and Cristi from Romania.
Bună.
Hello.
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 And I would like, first of all, to get to know a little bit more about how you came across the Creative Society and what was your experience with the recent forum. What stood out the most? What was the most important? And let me start from Ioana and Cristi. Maybe you could tell us your story.
Yeah.
Yes, we can start with our story. It was a pretty interesting one, and we didn't expect it. We found out about the Creative Society from not a very pleasant conversation. We got really intrigued by the idea, and since we didn't learn much, we kept looking. Later, we find out about your initiative, our initiative, as we can say. And it was great to know that we are on the same wavelengths with you.
Yes, I also learned about the Creative Society at the same time as Cristi from that not really pleasant conversation, but since we always do our own research and to look for all the information we need to draw a conclusion, we realized that, in fact, a creative society is exactly what we talk about every night before we fall asleep. What we think about, how we could live better together with the people around us. So that's how we learned about the creative society from that conversation.
Wow, this is incredible because it's not the first time that I'm hearing that people came across the Creative Society from seeing some, negative articles or, some even smearing ones. But then smart people, they usually verify information. They get to know what the project is about. And when they see it, then we understand that even from bad publicity that somebody is trying to, smear the project, it still works for the benefit because smart people will join anyway. And as you know from the forum, from the video about idiots are not needed because they're not gonna work for the benefit of society until they actually understand what it's about. And you know what? It's great that film from the forum is actually showing that most people are really, really good, smart people, and it is not so hard to inform others. So there will be less people who don't understand what it's about. Because the only way you don't support creative society is either you're uninformed or you must be an idiot. This is it. And now my second question goes to Sylvia. Of course, I'm very happy to see Sylvia from Belgium. You see, we have truly international table with people from all over the world speaking multiple languages and uniting in one idea, creative society. So Sylvia, what was your story? How did you come across the Creative Society?
Well, recently I joined TikTok, so I saw a lot of videos coming on and about the 22nd of April, and it was talking about the way out. And recently I've really been feeling like everything that's going on in the world is heavy on me. So I thought I have nothing to lose. I will see what they are talking about. So I broadcasted the live stream on my television in the bedroom. And we didn't actually stop watching, me and my husband, from 5 p.m. until 1 a.m. in the night. And we were very intrigued by everything they were talking about and how many work there was put in the research. And we thought it was incredible, and the further the conversation went and the further everything was explained, we really got more and more intrigued. And by the end of the show, we just joined immediately. It was clear for us that this was the only good thing that we've been hearing for a very long time, that there was a possibility to get out of the situation that we are in right now. So, yeah.
Wow, this is incredible. And this is the answer to all the people who think that, oh, TikTok is not a serious network, or, this social media is not as good as that one. It doesn't matter which social media is it. It means a lot how you use it. What do you do to use the social media to pass information to others? And I know that you guys all are very active on social media, and I know that Ioana and Cristi are doing live streams, right? You're informing people already. Could you tell us a little bit more about how that has been going, and how did you come up with such initiative?
O să răspund eu.
I will answer that. I started to write the beginning of the year after New Year's Eve, when I was sitting on TikTok quite a lot and listening to other people talking, uninteresting stuff. So we thought that our discussions might interest other people. And that's how we started talking to other people at first, to see what it was like. And then we thought we'd do our own live streams, around February, I think. So this year we started going out on the streets of Bucharest on weekends and filming for about a whole day, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and so discovering what's going on around us. And later on, last week, we also went to the Creative Society live and had a great discussion there. Yeah, it was really very interesting. And yes, we want to move forward with these common ideas that we have.
Wow, that's incredible. That was my story too. When I came across the project of Creative Society, I was like, how do I spread this? I started making vlogs. I started going to the streets with my cell phone and just asking people, describe the society you want to live in. And when I saw that all of them basically talking about the Creative Society without even knowing about the project, that's when I understood that, yeah, all people really want it. All we have to do is to inform them. And, that's incredible that you've been actively doing the very same thing, not waiting for, not waiting for anything to happen. That's the most incredible thing, when people take responsibility and, start taking action. And Sylvia, I know you have been very active. I've seen you. So we've met for the first time, if we can say, met on the stream not so long time ago, where we had a discussion with Roy Star, and you were very active in the comment section. And TikTok has some rules. If you have less than 1,000 followers, I couldn't invite you to the video stream. So now I'm super, super happy to see you on the video streams. But in text, we already communicated. So what was your experience so far on social media, maybe sharing information? And you know what, a very important question. What was the most remarkable for you at the forum of April 22nd? What was the most remarkable thing that caught your attention?
Well, I have to say that for me, it was the technology. I know for a fact that, because I've been, researching a lot the last years and really waking up to everything. And I saw that there is so many technologies available for the people, like free energy, but nothing's been used for the good of society. And I really believe that there's a possibility to really use that and to really give it to the people and for the better. And I was so intrigued by the technology of free energy and the replicator, which I know is possible, and also by the health cabin. And there's so many things that we can explore and use for the good of people, but it's just not happening, and it will never happen in this world. So I was like, okay, that's, besides everything that I was so intrigued about already, that was something that I was okay, they're going to use what's possible now. And I know that for a lot of people it sounds like a dream or it's like science fiction, but it's not. In neuro research, that there's so many technologies that haven't been used yet and not shown to the public. So I was very glad to see that said on the forum as well. Yes.
Wow, yes, definitely. Technologies have been described in great details. And what's incredible, even already existing technologies. What's shocking me, for example, that we use an artificial intelligence to give us good advertisements on, on our cell phones or to navigate us somewhere, but we're not using it to build a crisis-free economy where everyone would benefit. And this is really shocking because we have economical problems in every single country in the world. And not a single one says that, hey, let's use these technologies to build an economy in which we would have no inflation, no crisis, in which our currency would go up and people would make more money, we could lower taxes. We're not hearing this information. And, people very actively protesting in many countries. I know you mentioned you have a French family, and people are very passionate in some regions about protesting against something. But the problem is people not creating demand for something because people don't know about the existence of the project of the creative society. And here is where I would like to ask the next question to our dear Ioana and Cristi. What is it about the economical model of the creative society that you talk about that catches your attention? Why do you think these benefits of economical model are needed at all, and how do people resonate with them when you start talking about? And we know the benefits. It's universal basic income. It's universal housing. It's free education and free. High quality healthcare for everyone. How do people react to that? Is there a demand?
Yes, it's a very good question, especially because at the forum we found out that there are scientists who are working on new mathematical equations, formulas in economics, which was shocking because we haven't heard anything like that for years, for many years on our live shows. Indeed, when we are talking about something like this, people get amazed, and we are talking about some science fiction, which is very strange, because once you understand a little bit about economics, you will realize that the model we have now has been around for a very long time, and that it doesn't meet the needs of our days. It's very interesting how even an artificial intelligence can be used in this economic segment and benefit from much better statistic than the one we have in the systems today. And yes, unfortunately, people are rather reluctant to the idea because they got used to a pretty toxic pattern of life. But I think that by getting more information, they will certainly realize that we can move forward, and there is no way we can stop now with this economic system. And we'll certainly be much happier with that basic income and free housing, because all come here to experience this life and live it comfortably. It is very, very important.
And we shall not live in survival mode. Actually, I think that's the most important trigger, to get out of survival mode. That's the most important thing, from my point of view, to have time to create something. Our mind is limitless, and if we focus on survival only, we cannot do anything, as we've seen in the past.
Exactly.
Absolutely. When we call today's format of living consumerist format, it's not because of consuming goods. It's because our lives are being consumed by wasting time on useless thoughts. What do people think about? How to pay off the loan? for some unnecessary thing that's already broken down probably by the time you pay it off, or how to pay taxes, how to save some money for education, and God forbid to get sick, because, in so many countries, people cannot even afford the good healthcare. And in countries where it's supposed to be free, it's usually when something of a seriousness, of a higher seriousness, you still have to pay a lot of money. And I'm seeing people, what's always been shocking me, that people take it as normal when somebody's begging for money online to get some surgery for children, but people think, they're shy to talk about creative society, about the things being different. So you're not shy to be a beggar in the consumer's format to get money for surgery, but or share a post to, people have serious issues there. But people feel shy to talk about creative society. And that's always shocking me. Like, how you're not seeing that you're basically enslaved to the system that consumes you, consumes your time, consumes your mind, and consumes your life. This is why it's consumerist format. And creative society format is society where you live to create, where you create yourself as a human being from capital H. And isn't it amazing? And of course, when Sylvia brought up the health rejuvenation capsule, this is one thing that's also might be shocking to many people. But just imagine life in which health problems does not exist anymore, in which you're healthy. In today's format, you're a lost customer for healthcare industry, for pharmaceutical industry. You are basically lost. And, so many people would lose jobs only because you're healthy. By being healthy, you're doing damage to the economical system of our consumers format. Isn't it insane? But people don't approach it from this point. I would like to have this conversation more often with people. And, pharmaceutical companies and investment companies saying openly that it's not a sustainable business model to have healthy society of healthy people. In such society, how would you expect technologies to develop in the way to keep you healthy? Of course, it's counter-efficient. And this is why the approach of creative society is so holistic, because we're speaking about providing people with universal basic income and then changing it. But Celia, from point of healthcare, how would you feel what would you with your time if you wouldn't have to, worry about things like health, debts, and everything? What would you do? Would you continue working? And if it's not a secret, what do you do? And would you still be working, or would you spend your time? In which way would you spend your time if money wasn't an issue?
Well, actually, in a previous life, I was a nurse in intensive care. So I know everything about how the system works and how, well, it's a bit sad to say, but the way that people are treated when they are sick, especially, like you said, in several countries where healthcare isn't really a good thing. But what would I do? Well, with my time, right now, actually, I work with my husband in a big store where we sell paints and interior design, stuff like that, independent for the people as painters or people, like they want to do their houses and they come to us for paint or curtains. But when you're independent, you have to work a lot of hours. It actually never stops, and you have to pay and pay and pay, and it doesn't stop. You work for, and you start asking yourself, what am I working for? Because you do all these hours, you put in all the energy, but everything that you earned and worked hard for, and you think you're advancing, at the moment you think, okay, it start to the business starts going well. Something happens, or you get bills, and everything's going back to start again. And so you're asking yourself, what is this society about? And why do I have to pay taxes to this and this and this? And I'm not advancing. I'm just, walking in the same spot, and I'm not getting anywhere with this. And that's a bit frustrating. And what would I do if I had this $10,000? I love animals, and I love people as well, of course, but I love animals. Excuse me. And there's a lot of things to do in the world for animals, and they've been neglected a little in some parts. So I think I always said since I was a child that when I would win the lottery, when I was dreaming that I would like build this sanctuary where I would like feed the dogs and cats and help, animals who need help, to give them a home and to give them food and happiness and to make them worthy of a good life on earth. So I think that would be one of my main things to do. And of course, spending time with family and people who really matter to you. That would be important. Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. And I didn't know that you used to work in medical field too. That's
Yeah.
incredible. You've been having this experience and seeing how the system works. And I would say healthcare is probably one of the most sharpest issues. And here in the US, many people think, oh, in Europe they have it all figured out better. We want the system like in Europe. And I wanted to get to know with you folks, what is it like in Europe? And maybe Ioana and Cristi, what is it like healthcare in Europe? Is it really that good as Americans think of it? Because in America it clearly sucks, but everybody thinks it's so much better and the grass is greener on your side of the Atlantic Ocean. How is it over there?
Spre bucuria noastră.
Fortunately, we haven't had much experience with medical sphere, so I can't say much about it. At least in the country where we live, in Romania, it's quite serious in this sense. There are a lot of things to be improved, and I'm not sure how things are in other countries. So I can only talk about what the healthcare system looks like in Romania. There are two types of it, private and public healthcare. The public one is in continuous degradation. There are a lot of reports on these subjects. The private one is relatively okay, but there are lots of things to be put in order. Doctors who are living, at least from here, are not satisfied with many things. Medical equipment they have, and so on. So I think in other countries it's much better. Maybe our system is better than in some other countries. Like you can always compare it to something, but now I think we are at the point where we have to focus on the way we care about the human body.
Yes, but as for me, we should find some other ways to care for the human body. We need to do research in a lot more areas, not just take some pills, go to a doctor to get an injection. I'm sure there are other options out there, and they should be accessible 100%.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic because we were taking part as a team, of course, preparing this forum, and many clips didn't make it to the forum itself, but we were preparing them, and in forum you can see a rejuvenation capsule and technologies of the Creative Society. But then we had a clip which didn't make it because of timing. It was about the technologies that we already have, even in today's society, which are not being used at all, and which will be available to everyone even in the transition period, and how much easy it is to use even your personal assistant, your AI assistant, to actually track down what kind of food you consume and how many hours you've been sleeping. How do you look in the mirror when you're taking brushing your teeth? It can take a picture of you and analyze it and give you suggestions even based on that. So even today's technologies are capable of keeping you much healthier than you are. But unfortunately, it is not profitable, and it's a problem of consumer society. We cannot leave people without ability to make money and pay off their student loans, and they pay a lot for medical schools, and this is a problem that needs a comprehensive solution, and there is no other one. When we say, oh, Creative Society is the way out, it's not because we're only like our project and don't want to see anyone else's. There is nobody else. There is no competitions. There is no alternative to this. And it's incredible to see that like the movement is getting support all over the world. I would like to thank all of you for being here with us today, and especially our technical team, because in Romanian language we have an interpreter with us as well, who is working on interpreting to Romanian and English, and we have a big technical team behind. So people who organized the stream, work in IT, who organized all the videos, clips, and everything. That's such a tremendous work. And I know that Sylvia knows because she was on the stream on TikTok when people were asking, who finances you? It's impossible without huge money investments from banks, and somebody has to put a lot of money into you. What are you trying to sell? Guys, I encourage everyone to join the project and see it from the inside, how it's being done. It's incredible things that people are capable of doing, and they're free from work time. And when people know what they're doing it for, what kind of benefits we're getting. All of us are getting benefits, not right now, but in the future. We know that we're building a better world for ourselves, for our children, and for generations ahead. And this is what drives us on this path. And, before we part, I would like to again, ask our guests, what would be your wishes to those people who only finding out about the Creative Society? And what would you suggest based on your own experience and based on your, communications with other people? What kind of things people like hearing from you? What kind of things get them sparked? And what was your personal advice how to get introduced to the Creative Society? And Sylvia, let's start with you.
Well, I would say to everyone, please stop being scared and please stop thinking bad things. I know we have been imprinted with these ideas for so long, but actually Creative Society doesn't cost you anything, doesn't bind you to anything. There's actually nothing to be afraid of, because it's free. It's just knowledge, and you can or choose for it or not. And even if you choose for it, nothing's going to happen. I would say to the people, take your time to, we have taken time to do other things like social media or things that don't matter. So take a bit of your time when you are free and go to the website, watch the forums, watch the videos, inform yourself about the 8 pillars and everything that it's about. And if you do that, you will like it. And I'm sure of that. It just needs the people to take their time and to really inform themselves. That's what I want to advise people. Just take a little bit of time and watch it, inform, and, then we can have a good conversation about what you think about it.
Thank you so much. And Ioana and Cristi, what about you? What would be your wishes to the people who only started to get into know?
Dorința mea este
I wish that the moment you hear about something new, and you need to see if it's related to what you personally believe in, to draw a parallel with information you find about the Creative Society, and thus remember that we have a chance for the future. We are only now becoming more aware of ourselves as humanity, more than we have ever been.
Yes, what Chris is saying, that no matter where you found this information or where you heard about the Creative Society, you have to do your part of the job and go to the website to read the 8 pillars of the Creative Society. With each pillar, think about whether you as a person would like to live in accordance with that pillar. If you see yourself living the Creative Society, and if you see that all 8 pillars create the society you want to live in, then you should go down the page and click the join button, and then go to your family first, and then to your co-workers and talk with them. You can tell your colleagues at work that you joined the Creative Society and you want the world around you to be a better place, and that you want them to be with you. But most importantly, read the 8 pillars very carefully, okay?
This is very valuable because it's coming from somebody who has personal experience communicating with people and getting to know yourself firsthand, and that's what's valuable about it. What is most valuable is that for me, for other people, it's getting to know people from all over the world and seeing how good the people are. It's actually not what the media has been telling us, but it's actually our personal experience, seeing that people are much better than what we've been imprinted of thinking, and all the fear disappears when you actually communicate to people and getting to know them. And even online trolls, I'm sure in real life, face to face, they're much nicer people. It's just
I would say there is still hope for humanity.
Absolutely. What do you think? What gives you this hope? Could you tell us what?
I think that you see a lot of negativity in the news and social media, but like you say, when you go out to the world and you talk to people and you watch your friends and acquaintances around you, you see that there's a lot of people that are still good, and so many people doing good, even on social media, or for animals, for people, helping people. There's still hope for humanity. I think we haven't lost everything yet. So I think this is just the right time, and we are on the edge, like we have to act now, and we don't have to wait too long to do that, because I really feel like this is the time. This is the time to do it before it goes backwards. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. People are so much better than we think. And even just one example from my personal life. So before the forum, our friend, American-Armenian Narine, she's stopping by and she says, I ordered this tremendous amount of cards. This ones. She gave me 500 of these cards. She printed herself on her own cost. Somebody else did the design. There is designer team, so people volunteered to do the design of this card. That's invitation card to the forum. It says there is a way out. It says time, and it has 2 QR codes to the forum itself and to the Telegram group for people to join the social media and to stay in touch. I had to fly to the forum to a different city, and then I came back. I never had chance to give it away to the people. So I took the 500 postcards and I just went around my neighborhood, door to door, speaking to people, handing them cards and just communicating. And despite the fact that my consciousness was telling me, people not gonna understand, or people gonna think you're some kind of Jehovah Witness and just recruiting them, the actual experience was absolutely different. And we have nothing against the Jehovah Witnesses. We welcome everyone. But just the thing that people are open to this information. People were very greeting. And to me, it was a happy experience to get to know people around my neighborhood. So what can be better? You getting to know people, you meeting really nice people, and you sharing information that is going to save their lives and your life as well, because no one is going to survive by themselves. One of the topics we didn't talk today about was climate, but of course climate was in the middle of it, and it doesn't matter where you live. I know Romania has been shaken by a lot of earthquakes, and maybe before we wrap it up, since we started talking about it, I would like to hear, what do people think about climate in Romania? Because I know in Eastern Europe, people never take climate change serious. And that's because all this propaganda, and people are tough in there. They know when it comes to lies, they don't take propaganda. But when you feel on your own experience hundreds of earthquakes happening after devastating earthquake in Turkey and Syria, something had to change. Did you feel this change? Did people start taking it more serious? And is there a quest to find out the truth about climate?
Din experiențele personale.
I can tell you from my personal experience that it's not. People might have this religious barrier of thinking that what's coming is coming from God. I don't know, at least I don't understand that kind of thinking. I mean, after what happened in Turkey and in Romania, we saw on TV dozens of micro earthquakes and so on. And we were really a bit alarmed. In some countries, the authorities have relocated a small number of people, but for the most part, that's all. But I hope we won't have a hard lesson like Turkey and Syria. I think we are a country that's more and more aware of everything that is going on. And I would like to speak on behalf of my country as well. Mostly, it's just that it is imperfect system. We live has not been contributing to the awareness of these kinds of phenomena. Unless the fact that we even saw on the news last week that polar lights were seen in the north of our country, which is completely abnormal. We wouldn't have believed it was possible to see something like that in Romania. But I think from now, with these dramatic temperature changes that are happening in our country as well, it will make people ask more questions, and I think we will certainly look for a middle way together. And I think we will all come to the realization that we need a creative society.
Yes, Romanians generally don't believe until it happens to them, and that's not very good, but I hope to change this pattern of behavior. Look, we believe, and I hope that this awareness will come from us.
Yes, exactly. We have a society that is based on the principle of first I see and then I believe. And that has also degraded our lifestyle and a lot of things that we see around us, from friendships to social systems. But we really need to realize that we must first believe in something and then see how it is put in practice, and so that we can live together more optimally with a planetary ecosystem. And after all, we as humans have our own ecosystem, but the planet itself has its own ecosystem too, and we have to find a middle way.
Yeah, we already found it. Well, it's here, but we need to get as many people as possible to know about it, so we can start the second phase of the project.
Right.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And this is something that also has been shocking, because the forum was on April 22nd, and on April 23rd, we have seen the red sky all over the planet. In so many places, the sky went red. This is abnormal, but when you switch on the TV, you just get the report, oh yeah, the sky is red, and nobody explains why, nobody what it means. Nobody knows what it means. And if you watch International Online Forum Global Crisis, there is a way out. I believe 2 hours into it, you will see exactly explanation of what it means. It means that our magnetic field is weakening. It means that our protection shield is getting weaker and shrinking down. And this lights, this is the black mark of the climate Cerberus. This is the metaphorical explanation for that tremendous amount of power that is destroying our planet from the inside. And without this knowledge, people simply not aware. So this is our mission to, pass this information that we obtained. And, because somebody took time and efforts for us to get to know it. So now it's our responsibility to pass it on. And I want to thank our guests for being here with us. You are incredible, amazing people. And I know that with people like you, who are already taking action, we're definitely going to succeed with building the creative society. And for everyone who's watching us, I would like to encourage you to check the website, creativesociety.com, press join us button, subscribe to our newsletters to get the recent updates on your email. Those are currently available in English language and will be available in others as well. And I would like to encourage you to make your own reviews on the global crisis. There is a way out international online forum. Share your videos and be a part of this conversation. Drop us a line on email if you have something to say, and if you feel encouraged, if you have a story to tell, we would love to get to know you. And thank you so much for being with us today, and we're looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
It
you
was a
as well.
pleasure.
Thank you.